Brother, oh brother, oh brother.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Matt Core Show, where, feel free to give me demerit. I was a wee bit late today. My apologies for that, but I have a feeling I'll be able to make up for it. I really, really do, because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to chit-chat about. There's a lot to discuss, dive into, and try to figure out what in the world's going on, because the market's getting rocked right now. The old stock market did not like the slew of earnings that we got yesterday. We're talking about AMD, Microsoft, Google, Walmart, and I think there was one other major one in there that is now eluding me. Boeing was this morning. What was last night? I think those were all the major ones. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I have them all. And with that being said, we got to chit-chat about that. Obviously, we got to chit-chat about that. And then we also need to get into the world of, I guess, happy Inflation Day, happy Fed Day, happy Mr. Jerome Powell's going to speak to all of us day. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a specialty stream later on today. At 2 p.m., we're going to be streaming the FOMC results, and that's where the Fed decides to either jack up interest rates or bring them down. Most likely, they're going to keep them flat this time around. And then at 2:30, Daddy Powell himself will be speaking. So we have a specialty day, tons of earnings to talk about, tons of macroeconomic developments. We have even a little bit of political developments, a little bit of crypto news. Then we have what's going down with the Fed. And then also, don't forget that tomorrow we still have a bunch of earnings and whatnot. So we have a lot. We have a lot. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you are buckled up for a rip-roaring time. And with that being said, let's just dive right into it. Let's just dive into everything going down. Ooh, 5 things to know. We should definitely check that out. Nasdaq 100 future slide. Alphabet and Microsoft shares drop after results. So right now, if you're wondering why the overall market's going down, right here, it's because the tech sector is going down, and the tech sector is going down because Microsoft's actually kind of holding. It's actually down 0.68, but AMD down 3.2% yesterday, an additional 4.6%. And then also, let's just bring up old Google here. Last time I checked, it was actually getting hit even worse. And apparently it's just not loading it. So we're going to have to come. Oh, now that's not even responding. Oh, geez, it's going to be one of those days. One of those tech days, I suppose. Google down 5.8%. So AMD in the red, Google in the red, Microsoft a little bit in the red. Just so you guys know, Walmart did announce the 3-for-1 stock split. People kind of liking that. And then obviously Boeing also reported this morning, just to give you a quick screenshot. So Boeing surprisingly up. It's just pure chaos, pure pandemonium, and this is what we live for. But before we get into all that, I do want to let you know, so 8:15, about just under an hour ago, we got the ADP non-farm employment change. They were expecting 145. It actually came in at 107. Chicago PMI coming out in about 39 minutes. 10:30, we have the crude oil inventories. Those are all whatever, but the real excitement is at 2 p.m. today when we get the Fed interest rate decision. Today's day 2 of the FOMC meeting, the Federal Open Market Committee meeting. And really what's going to be going down is at 2 we get the results, but then at 2:30 that's the press conference. There's like an awkward half hour like in between where the market's going to go crazy, and then it tends to go even more crazy when he starts chit-chatting. Now, just so you guys know, tomorrow morning, I will not be streaming. I have to get my butt to Chicago, but with that being said, you should still know that, okay, early in the morning, we're getting the inflation out of the Eurozone, the CPI report right here, Eurozone, initial jobless claims, the normal ISM stuff. And then on Friday, we're getting an hour before the market opens, the unemployment report. Now, obviously, all eyes are on the Fed today. And as of now, there's a 98% chance that there is no change. The current Fed fund rate, as I'm speaking to you live, is 5.25%. There's a 98% chance that we stay at 5.25, and I fully believe that that's not going to change. We're not going up. We're not going down. I am personally probably even, the market's 98% confident. Your boy's 99. I'm going to add a whole percentage point on top of that of how confident I am that we're not changing. Right now, They're just going to keep us at this high level because we're obviously still battling inflation. They don't want to bring it down before we beat inflation, and they don't want to keep jacking it up because they don't want to cause us to go into a recession or a depression or any of that good jazz. So they're trying to do the Goldilocks situation of just keeping us right at that sweet point. So I have a strong feeling, like you could be about 98% confident that we're not getting a change. So what's really going to be moving the market is Jerome Powell's speech and the market's interpretation of, is he hawkish, is he bullish, is he confident, is he not confident, that type of a thing. Obviously, also moving the market are these big reports. Microsoft, AMD, Alphabet, Starbucks was the other one that I couldn't think of this morning, Boeing and Novo Nordisk. And then I just want to let you know tomorrow, Apple, Amazon, Meta, Friday, ExxonMobil, Chevron, a lot. This is earnings season. This is earnings season, folks. You are living it. So why is everything getting rocked right now? Microsoft, Alphabet, and AMD struggled to meet AI expectations. Microsoft actually still kind of holding on. Microsoft issues light guidance even as Azure growth drives earnings beat. So Microsoft beat, but just because like their future looking stuff, they're like, maybe like they weren't as confident, but like top and bottom lines, they beat. It's a double beat, but it's just more of that. It seems like right now the market really reacts to future guidance. And the fact that it came in a little bit light, that's why we're seeing Microsoft a little bit down, but on a relative basis, it's holding. It's only down by 0.3% right now. So we might even see a recovery in Microsoft today. Obviously, different story in the world of Google, AMD. Alphabet shares slide on disappointing Google ad revenue. So the revenue 86.31, the expectation was 85. So they beat on overall, but it was just certain things like YouTube ads 9.2 when they expected 9.21. So like it was certain pillars of the business that people were like, not the biggest fan of that. But Google Cloud actually did really well. That's interesting. Turning it over to AMD. AMD shares fall as first quarter forecast comes in light. Once again, we're looking at this future guidance. These forecasts, when they come in light, the market does not like it. Boeing's quarterly loss narrows, but 737 MAX 9 crisis looms over future results. I'm not touching Boeing with a 10-foot pole at this point. Like, it's wild that it's up right now. It's actually blowing my mind that it's in the green. I would have bet a lot of money that this thing would just keep going down and down and down, but I guess the earnings were fine, but like just what an awkward like thing, like your door's getting ripped off, like they just issue after issue after issue. So I guess if you're long on Boeing, congrats, it's somewhat coming back, but wild, absolutely wild. Walmart announces a 3-for-1 stock split as shares hover below an all-time high. So remember, this is the equivalent of taking a $3 bill and moving it into 3 $1 bills. It's theoretically not supposed to impact market cap up or down. There are some psychological aspects to it when people like see that it's trading at a cheaper price. There is some bullishness to it. But once again, this really doesn't have anything to do with core business tenets. It's more of market psychology rather than actually any fundamental change. There's no difference between having 10 $1 bills or 10 $1 or one $10 bill or 10 $1 bills. You still have $10, and that's what's happening here. Generally, this is met with optimism, but it really theoretically shouldn't. Novo Nordisk hits $500 billion in market value as it flags soaring demand for Ozempic. So basically, if you're in the business of making people skinny, the market likes it. The market really likes it, I suppose. Ozempic is just taking the world by storm. It's still popular. And Novo Nordisk, which a lot of people, myself included, haven't really heard of, but it's a top 10 company in the world. So I guess crushing it with Ozempic. 5 things to know before that stock market bell goes dingity ding 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 today, Wednesday. Reading the tea leaves. All you really need to know, market is getting hit right now because of lackluster tech reports, but that could all easily be erased today when we get to the Fed. The Fed results will come out at 2 p.m. ET, and then Jerome Powell will be speaking at 2:30 p.m. ET, and I will be streaming the whole thing, so I better see you back. Not good enough, Google. It's just numbers were not good. Boeing blowout technically did beat on earnings, but just the awkwardness with the 737. UPS down is cutting 12,000 jobs. PayPal laying people off. The past 2 weeks we've now been like getting into, we've gotten more and more announcements of companies laying people off. Too much. All right, this is why we need to talk about Elon. Little bit of a piece of breaking news related to Tesla. So if you're a Tesla shareholder, if you actively trade it, you want to pay attention, or just generically, if you want to know what's going on in the world of Elon Musk, you're going to want to listen up, because a pivotal decision was just made by a Delaware judge. Musk's $55 billion pay package voided, threatening world's biggest fortune. This is prompting quite a bit of drama. Elon Musk's $56 billion Tesla compensation voided by judge, shares slide. A Delaware judge voided the $56 billion compensation package of Tesla CEO Elon Musk. The pay package that Tesla granted Musk in 2018 was the largest compensation plan in public corporate history. Tesla's price is now down. So if you want to see it in real time, Tesla not long ago, 196. And then after the market, when we got the results of this from the judge, 192, came all the way down to 182, dropped 10 buckaroos, and as I'm filming this, down 2.5%. And basically, the shareholders are now a little bit worried because of all the drama really related to, if it's not approved, will Elon take some of his ideas and business plans to a different business, not under the Tesla umbrella? Because obviously Elon's still going to be doing cool things. And if he ends up developing AI or something like that, and it's not under the Tesla business umbrella, that means Tesla investors aren't going to get business exposure to it via the stock market. The plaintiff is entitled to rescission, and maybe it'll be heard. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. But this is what Dan Ives had to say on it right as this news was breaking.
Investor plaintiffs argued that the package was just excessive. Elon has gone back to his board and said, no, I need more stock in this company in order for you to keep my brain power. Where do you come down on this?
I mean, the biggest...
Very quickly, not necessarily more stock. He wanted more voting power. And a lot of the times, stock and voting power are one in the same, but there are ways to make preferred stock or super stock where you have the same stock amount, the same financial investment, but you could actually have more voting power. So Elon was very clear, and I don't think that was the best way to explain it. He just wants more voting power in Tesla, and right now he's in the realm of 13-ish%, and he wants to be at 20, 25. And obviously, I don't think he would deny it if he ended up getting actual, financial stock with it, but it was more about voting power.
This asset in Tesla is Musk. Musk is Tesla, Tesla is Musk. And
That's
obviously,
true.
This is a jaw dropper that came down in Delaware.
I like this. Elon did get mad right after it. Never incorporate your company in the state of Delaware.
Board ultimately goes back to the drawing board and comes out with a comp package that could supersede this and maybe get Musk to what we believe could be close to 25%, voting interest. It's a pivotal time for Tesla, and the board is not going to take this sitting down. This is something they're going to fight, and I think it could actually be an aha moment for Musk and the board.
Investor plaintiffs
thinks it could be an aha moment, but that wasn't the only commentary on the situation. Also, here's a little bit of a breakdown from Bloomberg.
A judge has voided Elon Musk's $55 billion Tesla pay package. We want to go now to Bloomberg Technology co-host Ed Ludlow in San Francisco. Ed, what else can you tell us?
Well, in the first instance, Tesla shares are down significantly in the aftermarket, more than 2%. What shareholders alleged in their suit is that Tesla's board and its directors did not act with impartiality when setting the $55 billion compensation, which is a historic record for any compensation package for a publicly traded CEO. Yeah. And the judge in this case, Kathleen St. Jude McCormick, is agreeing with that in the sense that investors had to go...
I don't like that reasoning.
To clarify whether or not there were conflicts of interest in the apportioning of that reward. And as you can see, the market paying attention when Musk took the stand to basically defend his position in that compensation. He said, well, I had nothing to do with it. I don't set my own pay. So how could there be any leverage that the board would put over me or me over the board, which is what the conflict of interest in question, the concern was about.
To my current understanding, I really wouldn't be surprised if this goes through a couple more iterations of the court and Musk ends up being victorious. Just, it seems like it's a little bit flimsy. But this argument of just noting that it's the biggest compensation ever. Okay, some CEO out there is getting the biggest compensation, and it seems a little bit more of just to be the classic anti-Musk rhetoric. And it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But in real time, that's why it's down right now, because obviously investors are uh-oh, if Musk decides to go do stuff elsewhere, is that not going to benefit the stock then? So I guess on that particular note, a little bit of drama related to Elon. That's why Tesla stocks are getting hit in real time. And I guess my question for you is, you're going to just buy this dip, or are you going to wait to see how it plays out? And also maybe you have a thought, an opinion or two, if you will, on this pay package. In my opinion, it's the concept of like, you eat what you kill. This wasn't just given to him. It was extraordinarily high performance bars he had to clear to get it. And then he did that. And that benefited everyone. There's a reason why Tesla's the number one automaker in the entire world. There's a reason Tesla's leading the EV revolution. It's because a lot of these pay packages have been like formulated in a certain sense where you need to perform better and better and better. And then when you hit those goals, of course, you get the compensation for it. So I'm a little bit confused why even some of these investors brought up this lawsuit. It kind of, I don't fully get it. And it'll be interesting to see how it all ends up playing out. But once again, on that particular note, trading at 186. So we did that. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, macros.locals.com. You could get it for free. It'll come to your email inbox every single weekend, but I break down the previous week, the upcoming week, all the major macroeconomic events, all of the earnings, and then I highlight the ones that I think you'll particularly care about. I want you to know that historically, this day, Wednesday, January 31st, has favored the bulls. Over the past 25 years, the bulls have won this day 76% of the time. The profit factor's sky high, 2.99. And the bias is bullish. So I know things are looking a little crazy right now, looking a little bit crazy in pre-market. And I just want to throw out there, I don't think it's the craziest thing if we make a recovery, especially with Powell speaking. If he says all the right things, if he comes off a bit dovish, man, we could see a pippity pop back to the upside. So I'm not necessarily sold on being a bear or being a bull today. I'm basically going to take what the market gives me. And then obviously we update you in the previous week of all the 0DTE stuff, daily DGen trade report. So right here, there were some call outs. Obviously you can see this one was a bit weird, fired at 11:30. So these were from the Piper strategy. And then I shared my own personal trades, ended up doing 2 trades yesterday, locking in a nice 2.9K. And then this is where I'm at on the week from the 29th to the 30th. So obviously just 2 trading days, but up just below 6.4K. If this interests you at all, join up, macros.locals.com. That's how you get connected to the Discord, and make sure you use the code Goonie because you get the first month for free. For free. Let me ask the question. I don't want to forget this. All right. Market at open. I need to get. Are you guys bullish? I don't want to mess this up and not put in the order when I'm supposed to. Or are you guys bearish? All right, that pulls up, and now rumble. Bear, green. We need 6 more votes on rumble. We need 6 more votes on rumble. We're tied. We're tied on rumble right now. Big green, red, green. All right. I guess Rumble's voting green. I have to admit, I'm a little bit surprised. Little bit surprised. Interesting. Wait, which ways? Hang on. How are you guys voting? Appreciated your DD on rum last night. Thank you. And actually, in real time, let's go over these numbers. Okay. As of this morning, well, really as of market close yesterday, the short interest 18.39%, the shares on loan 25.48%, the short score a little bit dropped down to 89. It was over 90 in the utilization, but the cost to borrow is now skyrocketing. skyrocketing. This is it here. Let me write all these down because I'm probably going to make some sort of update video on it. This is just wild. What's the short interest right now? The short interest is 18.4%. Shares on loan. The shares on loan are 25.5 mil. And then utilization, cost to borrow, dude, that one is wild. Look at that. 102%. That is ridiculous. Utilization is maxed out 100%. The cost to borrow, just so you guys know, the CTB, the cost to borrow, that's an annual rate. That's not what you pay daily. But imagine that you're paying 100%. You're paying your entire position anyway if you were to hold it for the entire year. That just shows you like how many people are attempting to short this right now on a relative basis to the amount of shares on loan. That is ridiculous. 102% and that's the average value. So obviously some people clocked in even higher. 102 on average. I mean, not long ago, this was at 15. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Truly, truly wild. All right. Very quickly, let's go over to this. Let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin and how it could squeeze, in some people's opinion, to a sky-high value. Anthony Scaramucci predicts Bitcoin to hit at least $170,000 post-halving, which is expected to happen in mid-April of 24. Skybridge Capital founder and managing partner Anthony Scaramucci sees Bitcoin soaring to at least $170,000 after the halving in April, when the number of new Bitcoin entering circulation shrinks again. We're 90% already out there in the world, so there's only 10%, but the way it works is kind of logarithmic because of the halving. So we're really not going to get the final one mined, I think, until like 21 whatever. Like we're almost like more than 100 years away. But anyway, here's his reasoning. Go back and look at Bitcoin halving cycles. The day that Bitcoin halves, multiply it by 4, and 18 months later, it's been uncanny, and that's been the price of Bitcoin. So speaking of price, I just want you to know Bitcoin currently trading just below 43,000 with a market cap of $837 billion. I'm using a $35,000 number at the halving, and that's conservative. Let's say we're at 50,000 in April, and that's a 200,000 handle. That's 60,000. Then we'd be at 240. So basically, he's just doing this multiple for the year and a half out. As for his long-term price prediction, Scaramucci predicts Bitcoin could easily reach half the market capitalization of gold, which would bring the price of one coin up to roughly 400,000. So this is another person clearly in the world of Bitcoin with lofty price targets. Like we've talked about Cathie Wood, and she says 600K by the end of 2025. And then her bull case is actually over $1 million. And you can find it all over on FinTwit. There's all these bull cases, all these price targets all over. And if it happens, obviously I have no crystal ball, it would be absolutely awesome. But also on this, I just thought it was a particularly funny part of the interview where all these quotes are from. So give this a quick listen.
I find her to be absolutely repulsive and absolutely hypocritical. And I said in Davos that her and Gary are the access of regulatory evil. She's literally the type of person that doesn't like to see rich people get richer, and a result of which she's willing to close down a product that would help the people she's supposedly advocating for. This is a product for the unbanked.
She's two-faced.
This is a product for the people that can't afford Jamie Dimon's fees to be involved in the financial services process. This is a product where if Jack Mallers continues to execute, there will be a rail system, a payment system where people outside of the United States that can't trust their currencies, don't trust their banks, will have an ability to transact with each other and use this technology as opposed to bartering with each other.
Just thought that was an interesting breakdown, a little clip from the interview that all this other information was pulled from. And then for those of you who potentially care about the short term, more of active trading, I mean, Bitcoin, we all know, ripped heading into the spot Bitcoin approval. Fake out breakdown, nice recovery from the fake out breakdown. I'm liking this. It's on the top side of the EMA cloud. It's running into a bit of resistance at 43.5K, but if it can push up above that, I think then we're talking about 46, 48K again. So just more of a short-term type of a thing. But for me personally, I think keep your eyes on the prize, this long-term stuff of Bitcoin. Personally, find it very, very exciting. All right, let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. Let's get ready for this, that, the other thing. And I'm already running behind on time. Already running behind on time. All right. With camera, new. All right. So wait. How's everyone voting? Oh, you guys are both going bullish out of the gate. That's crazy. You guys are crazy. All right. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? NQ. We got to get to the 1 minute. Let me get you guys set up. Let me get you set up accordingly. Set up accordingly. All right, we did this. So 47 and 48 are going to be attached together. 47, and then 48 as well. Okay, so you guys are ready to go. You guys are ready to go. 47, 48, that is YouTube and Rumble's account. I've done everything appropriately over there. All right, the other thing to do is number 49, which is obviously the Wheel of Destiny. The Wheel of Destiny. Let's see what is going on. Uh-oh. We lost one. The Wheel of Destiny's falling apart. Bullish. We're also going bullish, but by 7. Uh-oh. We lost a knob. This knob fell off. Our Wheel of Destiny is taking a bit of a beating, folks. That's something. Let's do this. Edit. We got to do 7. Okay. All right. So we are going long on this one for 7. Then we have the normal trade for this one. And then the only other thing I really need to do is I have a bazillion of these other accounts because I blew up. You could kind of see some of this red from yesterday. And I'm not going to have enough time to get this set up, am I? Oh, I already got to go.
Order submitted. Order filled. Target filled.
All right. The
Order
wheel
canceled.
The wheel hit. The wheel hit. Uh-oh. The wheel hit on its account. Folks, a little bit of a crazy open, if you will. So there were 4 contracts, and 3 of the 4 already, I believe, got hit. Yeah, realized P&L 100, 195. So some of these contracts already got filled right out of the gate. I don't even know if this is technically the right stop to be having. Let's just see. Calm, cool, collected. Calm, cool, collected. A little bit of craziness here, but looks like we're about to get a hit. This is going to be day 16. If this were to hit, this would be day 16. Maybe I'm getting a little bit presumptuous. I thought it was about to hit. Come on. There we go. Just get it right here. We'll lock it in. So the wheels. Ooh. Well, technically, this isn't even the right risk right now because we only have 1 contract. 99. All
Order
right,
canceled.
Let me dump that. Dump that. None. Because there's only 1 left now. Sell.
Order submitted.
All right, that should be better. That should be a bit better. Just cleaning it up a bit because it was actually for the YouTube chat and the Rumble chat. it was long 4 contracts, and 3 of the 4 already got filled. That's where some of this realized P&L is already coming from. So I'm now the fact that there's only 1 contract, we have quite a bit more drawdown. So I think we're good. I know it's looking a little bit crazy, and I know it might sound a little bit confusing. And don't worry about all this red. These 2,000, those were the accounts I blew out yesterday. You guys kind of saw that. It was a very painful experience. So then I had to go buy 17 more to try to see if I could get them approved. Dude, what is going on? We're getting real close to closing out this last contract. So basically, quick recap as we're waiting to see if this does or doesn't play out is the wheel went long by 7 contracts. That one hit good. Then for YouTube and Rumble, you guys both voted bullish today. And to be fair, we went long 4 contracts, and I kind of tiered the exits. 3 of the 4 already hit. So we just have 1 final contract to like lock in here. But the fact that it's only 1 means like we have a lot of leeway before this like blows out. Can you talk about the latest tech earnings? Already did. That's been donezo, brother. That's been donezo. We went through almost all of them, all the major ones at least. And that's actually what we're looking at right now is the NASDAQ. This is NQ is the NASDAQ futures contract. And that's what we're trading. And hopefully we'll be locking in.
Order filled.
Bada bing, bada boom. Day 16 in the bag. Once again, these are just the sim accounts that blew out. That's why these start with PA-Apex. These ones that just start with Apex means they're sim. But anyway, account, let's see how this goes. Okay, so 47 is YouTube, made 155 today. Rumble made 160, and then the wheel made 100. So as of now, Rumble is in the lead, up 2.1K. And then YouTube's in second, about $50 below, up just under 2.1K. And then the wheel account's up 2K. So basically, they're all up 2K right now, but this is actually statistically crazy. 16 days in a row, you guys have gotten the opening trade right. That's wild. That absolutely blows my mind. That truly blows my mind. The other thing that I have to do today is try to get these other accounts approved because it would be nice to be able to trade them again for real money. Oh, what do we have? 311 all the way up to 327. I wonder if we could pull that off. What was it? 311. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Is that right? Did I do that right? 311. I just want to make sure I did this right because we have 311 all the way to 327. So the goal is basically to make these all say that they're up 3K so I can pass the test. These are the ones that I blew out yesterday. Trying to pass it. 311 NQ DGen. That's the name of an interesting strategy, I suppose. Okay. Well, we're going to come to that in a second. All right. Let's see what we could do. All right. You guys still feeling bullish? If I just went bullish at open, it probably, well, maybe I had to wait till minute 3. So maybe having a little bit of discipline on this was actually a good thing. Or were we about to just break and run? Look at that. Microsoft already pushing again. I'm happy I held that. I still have my Microsoft shares from that swing trade. The other company that I'm really liking right now in terms of like a swing trade is Coin. What I'm looking for on Coin, I just want to share this with all of you, is a push and a hold above 135. I like the rip, and then it came down, consolidated. Obviously, it could just get rejected here and completely smacked, but I'm looking for Coin to get above and hold above 135, 136, and that would trigger a swing long for me. So I'm not long on it at the exact moment, but that's 100% what I'm looking for. Microsoft having a beautiful opening, an absolutely beautiful opening. Boeing somehow green. And then obviously for those of you who saw my rum video, it's holding 6 To me, a close above 650 is a nice win, and then a close above $7 is where stuff can get like really, really crazy. So that's what I'm watching for on RUM. Microsoft, I don't know, I guess I just wanted to see if it would bounce back because its numbers were good. Gold's trending back to the upside as well. Where's Bitcoin at right now? 42.9. It's going to be a crazy day, folks. I mean, the opening, well, really, post-market yesterday, crazy. The opening thus far, crazy. And then from there, it's going to get even more wild today just because of what's going down at 2 p.m. If you're just joining in right now, hey, Matt, what platform do you use for trading options? Public. I don't think there's really a reason to not be trading your options on Public at this point because you get 50% of your own payment for order flow back. Did Google miss? Yes. In certain subsectors. Overall, it actually did all right, like overall, but some of its ad numbers were pretty freaking bad. And that's why Google's down. But hey, RUM's on its trajectory back to the upside. While we're waiting for this market to open, shout out to today's stream sponsor, MetaPCs. Go to metapcs.com/MattCore. It's pinned to the top of the chat. It's in the description of the video. And this is the system that not only do I trade on, but stream on. They have a good, better, best setup for people who are into the world of trading. This is when I'm doing all my fancy schmancy data analytics and all that stuff. This is who I trust to do it. Obviously, as I've said before, I know you're not buying a computer every single day unless you're a crazy person. So the next time you're thinking about buying a computer, just keep MetaPCs in your mind. Obviously, beyond computers, they do have custom PCs. They have all the computer-related paraphernalia, keyboards, mice, monitors, like all that good stuff. They have financing options, and it's a company in the US. I've had nothing but a positive quality experience with them. So the next time you need anything related to a computer, keep MetaPCs in mind. And if you use the code GOONIE, GOONIE, you will also get a discount, just so you know. So pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. And shout out to MetaPCs for not only being an awesome partner, but like legitimately having just such a great product. Thank you. Give them a check. Where are we at? What is a PC? Have you ever told us? What was that? I'm running the best setup personally, but that's just because sometimes on like, especially like your system, it can be hard to have all the programs and then also be streaming on top of it. So I went for more of the higher end one, just to like handle obviously the compute load. And then for me, sometimes I really push the envelope by also trying to do some of my statistical analysis while doing this other work. I mean, I have like a million programs open right now. You guys saw all the tabs. It's just, for me, it was kind of like a necessity, but obviously you can create one that is like, since it's customizable, you can like create it to like what is appropriate for yours. Handle the load, LOL. Look at what's your actual set. It's right there. It's on the website. Have you seen the new short thesis for RUM from Culper Research? There's a new one? No. What's the new one? You mean from the 26th? You got me all excited. Is that what you're talking about? Or is there like actually a new one? Matt, you're the type of guy who would benefit from 2 PCs instead of 2 screens. I have 2 PCs and I have 3 screens. Actually, I have 3 PCs and 4 screens. Yeah, the 26. So not new, but it's just stupid. He's like, well, why wouldn't they make a official announcement with Barcelona? It's like Culper, he's a fucking dweeb, dude. Like, I can already tell you everything you need to know about Culper Research. It's a fucking dweeb who's just like punching the air, and he's just angry, and he knows his thesis is wrong because he doesn't want to admit that his MAU argument is stupid. And now I don't know if it's politically motivated. I don't know if he dislikes free speech. I don't know what his reasoning is, but his stated reason of the MAUs is dumb. It's verifiably inaccurate. He's like, I think these MAUs, dude, the MAUs are from Google Analytics. Like, if you have an issue with it, take it up with Google, Rumble's competitor. If they were lying, logically, you'd think that they would lie in the opposite way. They would try to make Rumble seem less popular. So it doesn't pass the litmus test of logic. Like, I don't know what it is. And obviously, that fucking dweeb at Culper Research, I don't think he's necessarily in the position that would amount for like 25 million shares out on loan. So obviously there's quote unquote quiet shorts as well. Culper's just the one that we know, like they stated that they are short, but obviously because of the current regulatory system when it comes to the market, big players don't have to report their short positions. You have to report your longs, your calls, and your puts, but not your shorts. I don't know why. It's stupid. It just is what it is. And actually, speaking of that, RUM's going up right now. It's up 3%. So is DWAC. Like I said, RUM, I care about technically 644, and then I care a lot about $7. He needs to incorporate the Marinero market risk. No one can pump a stock like Trump pumped. Look at DWAC. Well, remember that technically DWAC has not actually gone through yet with True Social. That SPAC deal has not been done. So, right, DWAC is a SPAC. It's a special purpose acquisition company. That's what SPAC stands for. It's a blank check company. But the merger, the official business merger of DWAC and True Social, it's not been approved. So that one, I know it's highly associated with True Social, but just I don't know, in terms of facts, it's not necessarily the company yet. Oh, SPX options are oddly high this morning. Welcome to options getting pumped. Yeah, that's just when you have big movements. IV is going to pump up, and most likely Vega is going to pump up, and that's what you're seeing. Can't deny the Trump pump, though. Oh, definitely can't deny it. I wouldn't want to be fighting against that because you never know, especially in like an election year. It just feels like it get all forms of crazy. All forms of crazy. Hang on. I wanted to look at the options market. I wanted to see what is happening here. Options. Did pump, but obviously ever since like 5 minutes into the day, bit of a dip. Is this just going to keep going?
Order submitted.
We're going for it. For no particular reason. This might be a genius move. It might be a completely idiotic move. Chasing it to the downside to see if I could get approval on the 17 accounts that I blew up yesterday. Or I might have bottom ticked it. Who knows, you know? At least I feel like I have 2 more shots today because I could take advantage of the volatility at 2 p.m. and then I could take advantage of the volatility at 2:30. So today seems like a kind of like a prime day to see if I could get it. This particular trade, as you guys saw, like was based off no particular analysis. It was, if anything, just like a random whim that I was like, oh, maybe the market keeps falling.
Order submitted.
What? The fuck? How?
Order filled.
Why did that get closed out so much earlier than I thought it would? What? I don't know why that happened. 50, 61. Is that right? 10 points? I'm a little bit confused on that. Well, that test didn't pass. And this is probably why you shouldn't be arbitrarily chasing to the downside after it already vomited. And knowing my luck, it's about to hit, but I'm thoroughly confused of what the fuck happened there. What did happen there? Can you explain the trade? Are you buying option calls on futures? Nope, just futures. I mean, you can see it, right? NQ. It's just NQ. It's just the NQ contract, or the ES contract is for the S&P 500. It's just it's a futures account. Just futures. You can buy and sell futures, like the way there is the equities market, the way there's the options market, there's a futures market. And that's what this is. NQ is for the futures on the NASDAQ, and ES is for the futures on the S&P 500. Well, I'm going to try to show a little bit of discipline here. Man, I feel like it's about to go down anyway. I kind of just want to rerun it now, but I know that's stupid. I should probably just wait for 2 p.m. in all reality and see if I could just take advantage of the announcement. So I'm going to try to be disciplined and not do it till 2 p.m. I'm just trying to. It's so much fun, though. It's so much fun. Did you go through Rhythmic or Trade-Evate? Rhythmic. That's why it's on Ninja, because Rhythmic connects to Ninja while Trade-Evate is Trade-Evate. Who's going on? What's going on at 2 p.m.? It is the Fed rate decision comes down at 2 p.m. and then Jerome Powell speaks at 2:30. And that's why, like, I don't necessarily want to, like, I would love to be approved before then, but it feels like from just like a high volatility standpoint of maybe getting lucky with like a big push in my favor to get the 3K in profit that I need per account, feels like I should be just a bit more patient and wait for that announcement at 2. And then if I don't get on that one, maybe I could run again with Jerome Powell at 2:30. So like in terms of just trying to do like a higher odds situation of seeing if volatility goes in my favor or not, feels as if maybe waiting till 2 is like the smartest move. Feels like it's the smartest move. Nick, can you explain match trade right now? Is he buying options or futures or what? It's just futures, man. If you guys are seeing this, all it is futures. It's literally just futures. It's not options. It's not equities. It's not ETFs. It is literally just futures. And you can tell that by up here. It tells you the exact same thing I'm trading, NQ. That is a futures contract. If you're seeing this screen, I'm not trading options. I'm not trading equities. It's honestly, most of the time, like it's going to just be futures. And you could double check the name in the top left. You don't trade pasts. I don't even know what that means now at this point. You don't trade pasts. What's a past? What would that be? What's a past? Market gonna drop 10% from here in the Fed beginning of March. Maybe. So is it optional like futures or what? I mean, I guess I get that it's a little confusing because futures trading, it's not something that like everyone gets into. I particularly like really enjoy it. Did you watch the Dumb Money movie? And if so, did you like it? I watched half of it and then my stair stepping session ended and I just haven't finished it. So I got halfway through. It's like, to me, it's super Hollywooded up. I thought they were going to get more into like the actual market structure of it, of how it occurred, but they took more of like just the story narrative line, not the actual aspects of our structure that caused it to happen. So, yeah. You don't trade coulda, woulda, shoulda. What's the smallest contracts you can trade on futures and where I want to look into it? One. You could trade a contract. One would be the answer to that. Just check it out on Apex. But you can't trade portions of a contract. You just trade a contract. Matt's facial hair is quite French. Thank you. No, you mentioned before micro and mini. Yeah, those are all types of contracts. A micro is 1/10 of the size of a mini. So if you trade NQ, that's a mini. And then you could trade MNQ, and that's a micro, which would be 1/10 of the size, but still the smallest like denomination that you could trade it in would be one contract. You can't trade a portion of it. The fastest way to do it is to get a paper account. Like as much as I could, because it has some similarities to the world of options, but then there's also distinct things that you can only find in futures. And I guess I could sit here and explain it at a high level, but if you want to basically fully understand futures trading, just go get a paper account and just start buying and selling until you figure it out. So obviously don't risk any money. Just paper account. Get a paper account, don't risk any money, do simulated trading, buying, selling, and you'll learn about the contracts and the rollover and the sizing and the implications and all that. Like the best thing to do to like 10x your learning time, your learning speed, to I guess divide your learning time by 100 is just get a paper account. Paper account, don't risk any money, just let it rip. I remember my first futures trade ever was a simulated trade. I was trying to figure it out. I was trading a gold contract. So I bought like 50 of them. And then I went to bed and I woke up the next day and it was up like 300K. Obviously it was fake. It was fictitious. It was a paper account. But I remember that that must have been 2017, maybe 2018 was because like people hear about futures. You're like, oh, futures. Yeah. Like gold, silver, sugar, coffee, like that type of stuff. I think it's really fun to trade. But there's nuances. You have to learn about contracts, contract rollover, how they trade. Like obviously like a 1 point movement in ES is worth $50 because a contract is going to represent 50 shares of SPX. So super, super leverage. They trade on different hours. The ES is trading on what's referred to as the Globex session. And that trades 23 hours out of the day, excluding Saturday. But then even with that being said, not all futures contracts trade on the same time. They all have kind of like their own little schedule. So there's some things that you have to get used to that is not similar to stocks or options at all. And the fastest way, as I said, to get over that is just paper account. Go create a paper account, a simulated trading account, and just let it rip. Just let it rip. Gold, actually, it's funny on the gold example that it's actually picking up right now. Microsoft had a great open. They got smashed. Rum having a phenomenal opening, coming right back up to that key level 644. All right. SPY, Qs, Microsoft. Let me shut all this down. Let me shut this down. Hold on 1 second. Yes. All right, did that. We are good to go. Speaking of futures and options on futures, yes, you can trade options on futures. That's a thing. It's a leverage way to already pay a leveraged thing. So it gets even wild. So if you're right, you could be right big, but also if you're wrong, you could be wrong big. So with any of that stuff, obviously you have to make sure you understand what you're doing. And the best way to understand what you're doing is by first trading it a lot without risking any money. Like I cannot articulate enough or stress enough how important it is to use paper trading to your advantage. Paper trade all the time. Is it exactly the same thing? No, because you're missing some of the emotional aspect, but it's like 80% there. Like you're kind of getting there. And it's better than not being there at all and risking actual money. So definitely make sure you know what you're doing. And there's a lot of great paper trading accounts out there. There's a lot of great in between. That's what I like so much about Apex is instead of risking all your own money, you're risking the challenge fee, which is like $30. I'd rather risk $30 than $30,000 before I know what I'm doing, if that makes sense. So that's, I don't know, my opinion on it. And actually, would you even sign up for Apex? you'll get connected to NinjaTrader, which is the brokerage. And then on NinjaTrader, they give you a SIM account. So you could even first do stuff on a SIM account before even doing the challenge account on Apex. So you have like many different tools at your disposal to do that. Webull, free paper trading. Yeah, but they don't have futures. So you can't do paper trading. I think the best thing to do is actually with Ninja. So you could get an Apex account, which will get you a license to use NinjaTrader. And then on Ninja, they'll give you a SIM account. When they say Bidenomics is working, well, they aren't lying. They never said it was working, only that it working well. Yeah, it's working, maybe just in a negative sense, I suppose. All right, SPY kind of going flat. Q's sold, bounce, now flat. Options market, whoa. So some longer dated calls being bought. So remember, the white line is the price line. The teal/green line is the 0 DTE net delta. And then the purple is the all expiration net delta. So people not necessarily bullish on the day, at least at the moment, but on farther out, someone got real bullish from 947 to 950, particularly bullish. I think this is a very big deal. UMG is reportedly pulling their music catalog from TikTok starting tomorrow. That includes Drake, Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, Ariana Grande, and many more via Billboard. Oh, I think I saw something about that. Wasn't it for like bullying or something like that? Right? Like they thought there's bullying on TikTok, so that's why they're pulling a bunch of music. Is that right? Or am I just losing my mind? SPY getting hit. Rum holding nicely just below 630. Would love to see this overtake 650. HODL, BTC having in March, but it's not. It's in April. It's in like mid-April. Unless I'm pretty sure it's expected to be like April 12th or 13th. I don't know where you're getting March from. Am I wrong on this one? Am I... TikTok is a weapon of war? I don't know. I saw a couple war movies, read a couple war books, and I'm pretty sure it was fought a little bit differently. I think I don't think they were like necessarily sending mean TikToks to each other in like the trench warfare of World War I. I don't think when we were like engaging in guerrilla warfare in Vietnam, they were necessarily like leaving mean comments on TikTok videos. Matt, are you playing the Gapville? I haven't really done anything yet. I just did those I did the trading competition on the actual accounts, the PA accounts, all of those hit. You guys had balls to be bullish at open, but hey, it paid. Then I failed the test on a lot of those, and now I am just kind of letting it rip, you know? I'm just kind of waiting to see how things struck. I haven't done anything like in my actual accounts. What is this one? This is incredible. Exactly 6 years ago, Elon Musk agreed to the compensation package that a Delaware court just voided. Here's a clip from the day the compensation package was announced. At this time, Tesla was worth $59 billion, and Elon made his compensation entirely performance-based. Here's the best part. If somehow magically he gets the company 650, he would collect $55 billion in compensation. Less than 3 years later, it had a market cap. I don't understand this. Like, how can they void a pay package that was agreed? That's crazy.
Overnight, Elon Musk, he's the subject of the column, telling me he's now agreed to stay on as CEO of Tesla for the next decade. There had been a lot of speculation that he'd be stepping down in the next 2 or 3 years. He had said that once the completion of the Model S, or the Model 3 rather, was up and running, that he might not stay at the company, at least as the CEO. But Tesla now announcing a radical new compensation plan. It could be perhaps the most radical compensation plan in history. Musk's compensation is going to be tied directly to the company's performance. The executive will receive no guaranteed compensation of any kind at all. He gets no salary, cash bonus, equity. He only gets equity that vests over time, but only if he reaches these hurdle rates, which are, dare I say, crazy. So right now the company has $59 billion.
Crazy.
So
they're just mad that he did it?
Increments. So if he gets the company to $100 billion.
Wait, you're just talking market capitalization, not based on revenue, not based on the number of production.
There's going to be two metrics at each step. So the first step is he has to get the company to $100 billion and reach these operational and adjusted EBITDA and revenue number. If he doesn't get either of them, he gets nothing.
That's kind of a weird way to break it down based on market capitalization.
If he gets to 150 and has to hit the operational numbers.
But, I mean, the market can be irrational, so you can't control that.
At each $50 billion number, he collects 1% of the company. If somehow, magically, he would get the company to $650 billion, which is literally what the plan calls for, if you can believe this, he would collect the equivalent of about $55 billion in compensation. Otherwise, he gets absolutely nothing.
What if you get it to $650 billion and then it immediately collapses to $500 billion? Is it just hitting that market capitalization milestone that matters? Or is it keeping it there for a certain time? Is it hitting it?
So here's where it gets even more interesting. The shares vest, but then he has to hold the shares for 5 years at each break point.
You still get it, right? Even if market capitalization is the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
No. You can't. It's impossible to game because even if you were to get the company in the market cap to $100 billion, you then have to, by the way, hit the operational numbers.
On top of it.
On top of it. You have to get both, and then you have to hold the shares for 5 years. I mean, it's weird. So if you were trying to do something temporary to try and
get the stock price up,
you can't because 5 years later your shares would be worthless.
It would affect decisions on buybacks and issuing stock and floats and all kinds.
Market cap is just a bizarre.
So interestingly, the last compensation plan that they had in place started in 2012. It was similar in some ways to this. It had a market cap component, and then it had all sorts of.
I've never heard of another company tying.
Nobody's ever done it. But he literally gets nothing. And the other thing that's interesting is if he gets to, let's say, $99 billion, he gets nothing. If you get to the next one, if you get to $149 billion, you get nothing. If you get, so but it is truly eat what you kill, skin in the game in that regard.
Well, I mean.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on
That's actually kind of crazy. Like, people are like, no way does he ever hit it. And then he did hit it. And now they're trying to basically take 50+ mil from him back. Like, that's just, I wonder what the actual reasoning is from the court, the judge of like it was agreed to. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. YouTube may have captured the first birth of a great white shark on video. What? Oh. China, if Bitcoin succeeds, we will all die.
Well, if Bitcoin will become the ultimate type of a form of the currency been adopted by human society, I can tell exactly what's going to happen as the worst scenario or the must scenario. We're all going to die. This is not a joke. Well, if
feels like that might be a bit of an overstatement that we all just die. Bitcoin becomes popular and what? We just buzz out and that's it. Interesting. Who's this one? Rep. Cori Bush addresses Justice Department investigation into illegal use of federal tax dollars for personal security.
I hold myself, my campaign, and my position to the highest levels of integrity. I also believe in transparency, which is why I can confirm that the Department of Justice is reviewing my campaign spending on security services. We are fully cooperating with this investigation, and I would like to take this opportunity to outline the facts and the truth. Since before I was sworn into office, I have endured relentless threats to my physical safety and life. As a rank and file member of Congress, I am not entitled to personal protection by the House and instead have used campaign funds as permissible to retain security services. I have not used any federal tax dollars for personal security services. Any reporting that I have used funds for personal security is simply false.
Options are just flat.
In recent months, right-wing organizations have lodged baseless complaints against me, peddling notions that I have misused campaign funds to pay for personal security services. That simply is not true. I have complied with all applicable laws and House rules and will continue to prioritize the rules that govern us as federal elected officials. In particular, the nature of these allegations have been around my husband's role on the campaign. In accordance with all applicable rules, I retained my husband as part of my security team to provide security services because he has had extensive experience in this area and is able to provide the necessary services at or below fair market rate. These frivolous complaints have resulted in a number of investigations, some of which are still ongoing. The Federal Election Commission and the House Committee on Ethics are currently reviewing the matter, as is the Department of Justice. We are fully cooperating in all these pending investigations. In September of last year, 2023, after conducting a months-long investigation, the Office of Congressional Ethics found no wrongdoing and voted unanimously to dismiss the case. I look forward to this same outcome from all impending investigations. And I am under no illusion that these right-wing organizations will stop politicizing and pursuing efforts to attack me and the work that the people of St. Louis sent me to Congress to do, to lead boldly, to legislate change my constituents can feel, and to save lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Kind of wild, honestly. Kind of wild. Let's see. Let's see what's going on in the market. SPY kind of flat. Q's kind of flat. Options kind of flat. Was a big transfer there, but really hasn't led to too much. We went over that already. Bill Gates, Elon Musk. Shrinking, building optical illusion. What else are we missing? Anything? I don't. The heaviest objects in our universe, our sun, neutron stars, black holes. This is the Fed's balance sheet. Oh, man. Neon tried speaking to Aiden Ross and got hung up on.
Sorry.
Hey, real quick, I'm with somebody. He just wants to say, somebody wants to say hi to you.
Okay.
Yo.
Who is that?
It's Neon. What's good?
Oh, I was about to go in.
Nah, don't. It's just cool. What was I gonna say? Yo. So do we do Last of Us on PS5 or do we do it on PC? That's the only thing I don't. Weird LG.
Do they not like it?
Yeah,
is this just like little kid streaming drama that I don't understand? Is that what's happening there? SPY flat, Q's flat. Tesla actually picking back up. Rumble holding at 620. DWAC's actually up 3.6%, trading at 39. Coin is making a decent comeback. Coin, like I said, I kind of like it above like 135-ish. 135, 136. I kind of like that as a swing play. The other swing play that I'm currently in is actually Microsoft, that had a good morning and is not having a good follow through ever since then. Have you heard the rap between Ben Shapiro? Yeah, I heard that with Tom McDonald. I mean, I think it already has like 9 million views on YouTube. It's definitely not the highest quality rap I've ever heard, Ben Shapiro's part, but I fully understand how this thing could be going viral without a doubt. like just because it's kind of funny that Tom McDonald brought on Ben Shapiro to do a rap. Matt trying to flex, dude. I wish. It's the #1 stream song in the world. All right. How about this? I'm pretty sure I'm already going to get DMCA'd. What's a good song that I should listen to that you don't think I've heard of before? Ben Shapiro equals mainstream media? I don't know about that. I mean, he kind of does his own thing. Mainstream media? I think that's just Wall Street. It could be any genre. If you're like, dude, like, what's the song you're listening to right now 20 times in a row on your way to work? Like, what's your go-to song? Bezos by Bo Burnham. I've heard that one. Hang on, now my producer's sending something in. What is this one?
Let's go.
Oh, hang on 1 second. Market breaking down. Hang on, let me put the signal in. I got some alerts. Wow. Did you guys hear that one? Spy. What would it be? What is it telling me to do it at? Be careful with the Fed. Yeah, well, it's breaking down. Dude, that trade I had on, I feel like it would have hit if I held it. I feel like it would have hit if I held it. All right. What did you guys send in here? What is this? We're definitely going to get DMCA. Honestly, I don't think there's... If I could do anything in this world, like if I could wave a magic wand and just be something in this world, it would be like a musician. And I don't even necessarily mean like a rapper versus rock star versus a country artist. I'm just saying in general, the concept, like, do we have anything in like the modern age that, like, I mean, we basically treat these musicians like fucking deities. Like, holy shit. It's this fact that you could come out and people know your lyrics and they're screaming at you. Like, that's why they're the 27 Club of, like, unfortunately, all these like super, super famous and talented artists who like end up taking their own lives in one way or another by the age of 27. I don't think our brains are like wired to handle that. Like, it's so crazy. Comedians, yeah, they'll get a crowd and people come and cheer, but I think music's on a different level because like the energy within the stadium or the arena is just completely different. And I think that's true for across the board. Like I said, country, rap, fucking polka, rock, any of it. Just like, it's so wild what that must be like. Like, dude, any of these top tier people, like when you come out on the crowd and there's like 15,000 people yelling at you, that has to be one of the coolest things ever. It has to be like one of the coolest things ever.